Hello everyone. This is a group 3 presentation for potato business. And here is our group agenda. I will go first. My name is Tu, and then come to Chris, Queenie, Davis, and Hemasi. Now let's have a look at Canadian potato market. It is top 10 biggest producer globally, and Prince Edward Island is the number one province produce potato over there. Products are segmented into three groups. Processed potato, which is very big market, 66%. Then come to fresh potato and seed potato. Consumers are divided into families, food services, retailers, and seed trader. Per capita consumption, every Canada consumes 60 kg per person per year. Due to potato crop specialty, it really need a very long storage, 7 months to supply all year round with a high consumption over there in Canada. Now let's have a look at Mapo Potato Company. Our business types is production and trading. Our main products are frozen potato, and we targeted at family and food service. So we will serve the market territory within Canadian mainland, and we chose a centralized structure to control cost and fresh quality. Our competitors are Canadian manufacturers and international producers. So our customer expect us to provide product with quality, price, health, nutrition, and demand for convenience. So therefore, we come to our Maple potato positioning is below local made frozen potato for local, convenient receipt for modern home, quality nutrition with distribution flexibility.
Now let's look at our vision and mission. Our vision is to become one of the leading producers and suppliers of variety of frozen potatoes across North American markets because of their high demand and the size of the market. Our mission is to provide a platform and empower farmers by fair practices and ethically farming our crops and adding proper value to them through the signature processing at Maple Farms. Now, let's look at some of the organizational objectives for this company. We will first need to survive during the initial period. In order to do that, we will have to have extremely competitive pricing. The price of hash browns that is offered by some of the major brands such as Cavendish is around $5.50. However, with minimal branding and promotions, we are able to bring this down to up to $4.75, which will create a significant gap between the two brands. And expanding into US is one of the major goals of the organizational because of the size of its market and the capabilities. Now, financially, it is important for the brand to be able to easily reach all the major locations or destinations from the manufacturing or the processing plant. Ideally, a good location would be somewhere in Ontario or Ottawa because that will help us reach every corner of Canada in a relatively short time, and it is also very easy to access the US from this point. As an ethically responsible business, Maple Potatoes is aware of the consumption and ensures that the resources are ethically and sustainably sourced. Now, let's look at our supply process and goals. A standard benchmark for processing will ensure the survival of the brand. Holding on to the quality and maintaining that will drastically increase our chances of succeeding in the business. In terms of quantity, how will we be able to provide a good quality even by keeping the prices down? The only secret to that will be EOQ. Placing large orders for sourcing will reduce the cost of sourcing and therefore will keep prices lower. One of the most important strategies is to reach a large market. So positioning ourselves and the business in such a location that enables us to reach all the corners of Canada and US will considerably lower the cost of operations. Now, let's look at the organizational structure for this company. One of the most important factors to keep in mind in order to operate with a low financial cost is to have a lean operational structure. So, the structure very clearly describes what needs to be done at every stage of processing these potatoes. There is even some room to understand what happens if there are certain potatoes which are damaged and returns. Thank you.
My name is Queenie and I present the first two steps in supply process, need identification and description. To produce frozen potatoes, we decided to purchase production line, raw potatoes, and packing bags. For the packing bags, we decided to outsource so that we can focus on production. For each one, we also have the need criteria so that suppliers can based on that to provide quotation. For production line, the method we use for need description is the specification by function. The advantage is that the supplier can meet company requirements. The disadvantage is that it's difficult for us to compare the quotation. For raw potatoes, we describe by physical characteristic and standard specification. The advantage is that it's easy to check basing on the standard criteria. And disadvantage is that not all the supplier can be qualified for the standard criteria. For the packing bags, we decided to outsource, but we also have the criteria to suppliers. We describe by sample. By giving samples, supplier will get exactly what we expect. And disadvantage is not we cannot utilize the supplier expertise because we just give the sample and the supplier just provide the same, produce the same.
My name is Devish Vigar. Today, my project is for maple potatoes. First, the technologies that are used for procurement process. The recent technological advancement have significant impact on many commercial activities, back offices activities in particular. The technologies that can be used for the procurement process are: first one is the cloud-based procurement software. The second one is the microservice and low-code platforms. The third one is the process automation. And the fourth one is a collaboration communications tool. While researching on this subject, I was really fascinated by the cloud-based procurement software. Cloud computing and SaaS products are used to support many business operations, and the procurement is no different. Cloud-based platforming are allowing companies to lower their upfront investment, reduce overheads, and enhance their real-time information sharing. So the technologies that should be used for the maple potatoes is the cloud-based procurement software. How often to make, buy, and source or outsource for the maple product. Potatoes are planted in the spring and harvested in late summer, which usually indicates that it's not a 12 months of business. So, since it's a new business, in my opinion, the maple potatoes should usually outsource their all the activities so that it can reduce its all overheads and can also save their cost and could also be sufficient in few years to beat their competitors in the market. Now, how to ensure the quality for the selected items? There are many ways through which the products can be ensured to how use their quality products. The first one is a track and trace. The second one is identify the golden batch. The golden batch is the benchmark of the frozen products against which all the future frozen items should be assessed for consistency and their qualities. Validate their sanitation procedures to prevent any contaminations.
Hello everyone, this is Hamakshi. I'll explain supplier selection and evaluation part. It is very crucial for any organization to select right supplier through effective evaluation. At Maple Potato, we have divided the complete process in 6 steps. First step is identification of need. We decided to move ahead with russet potato, considering best variety to produce potato-based products. The next step is search right supplier. It was very important to decide whether to procure raw potato from onshore, offshore, or reshore supplier. At Maple Potato, we have analyzed to procure potato from Prince Edward Island and New Brunswick, considering the highest potato production rate. However, after analyzing all possible options, we decided to procure them from onshore supplier from PEI. There are various methods to find suitable supplier. We would preferably use visit to online sources, trade directories, visit at the supplier's location, and reference methods to scrutinize the information regarding available farmers. At Maple Potato, we have shortlisted suppliers based on competitive price, production capacity, quality of products, and payment terms. We have selected 3 main suppliers for service: Garden Alp Farms, Cavendish Farm, and Boyd McDonald Produce Limited. The next step is to choose right supplier is to get quotation having competitive rate to maximize the profit of the organization. We received the base rate from Garden Al Farms, which is lowest amongst other two. The next step is supplier visit. The quality team of Maple Potato have visited all the 3 farms and gone through stringent quality checks for the quality of potato. Advised to choose Garden Al Farm. Next step is single and multiple supplier. Considering the potato being a seasonal product, it was advisable to finalize 2 suppliers. Garden Al Potato has been considered a primary supplier, and as an alternate option, we finalized to have Cavendish Farms. The next step is order placement and logistic. We decided to move on with order placement in bulk quantity to minimize the logistic cost. Now let's see what is reverse marketing. As we finalize Garden Al Farm, being our primary supplier, we decided to assist them to improvise their operation methods and certification to meet the predefined quality standards of Maple potatoes. Now the next part is supplier evaluation. There are 3 levels to evaluate the supplier and justify the right decision. Level 1 is strategic evaluation. We analyze the supplier's organization strategy, goals, and objectives to minimize the procurement cost and maximize the profit. The next level is traditional. The main factor which were analyzed at this level was to ensure technical, engineering, and operational aspect. The main aspect was to ensure that the farm has sufficient capacity and flexibility to meet the demand. And the third level is additional criteria, where we reviewed the qualification and background of managers to ensure and meet the quality criteria. Now, next point is business relationship and partnership. There are 2 types of partnership that any company would aim to develop with any supplier for healthy business aspect. The first is operational partnership. The main objective of the same partnership is to support supplier to meet quantity, quality delivery, and other aspect to meet the company's requirement. While strategic partnership has the main focus is to obtain healthy long-term business relationship to achieve sustainable competitive advantage. Thank you.
For delivery, because of some standard criteria for frozen food transportation, we decided to use 3PL, and we will distribute products to 4 regions in Canada. For the first phase and the second phase, we will enter the market in Yukon and other provinces in North Territories. From suppliers to our factory in Prince Edward Island, we decided to ship by truck, full truckload, to limit transit time by door-to-door service, and we also use just-in-time system to minimize inventory costs and carrying costs. From our factory to our wholesaler in New Brunswick, we decided to ship by truck to deliver to all wholesalers in Atlantic regions. And from our factory to wholesaler in Ottawa, Saskatchewan, Vancouver, we decided to ship by rail and truck, intermodal freight transport, and we also use third-party service for cross-docking instead of warehouse, which located near railway station in Ottawa, Saskatchewan, Vancouver, to distribute to all wholesalers in these regions.
I am back again to talk about sustainability. At Maple Potato, we choose closed-loop supply chain. Forward flow, we focus on reduce, and reverse flow, we focus on reuse. Different color suitable with each activity listed below. And at each stage of our supply chain, we have mentioned here the important activity. Let's have a look at, for example, due to the time, I will talk about manufacturing site. At this phase, the most important decision is a refrigeration and freezing system to reduce TCO, less water, less energy, fewer emission, and to reduce food loss and damage and food toxicity avoidance in forward flow, and in reverse flow will be reuse potato into fertilizer, animal feed, or biogas and energies, and the like. So this is the overall view of our company sustainability plan. And this also comes to an end of our group presentation. Thank you.